If you want to become shifty like Steph Curry, Kyrie Irving, Trae Young, then we got to stop thinking so much about the moves that we're doing, but the movements that we're making. And so if you think about it, how do you become more shifty and actually put into play? You got to first be able to hesitate and sell a shot. You then have to be able to hesitate and sell a drive. Then the second thing is you got to be able to make moves, but not just be stationary, but be able to float with the ball. And lastly, be able to fake a float and shift away from the ball. The first thing we got is hesitations. We're gonna start with hesitations off of a shot. So say Bryce is guarding me and I'm making moves and I'm doing this, but I'm just like facing forward, I'm just a threat to drive. Well, he can sit on the fact that I'm not a threat to shoot. I have to be a threat to shoot. So I might be like this, I might be a cross between, and instead of trying to fake a drive, I might go like this and try to fake a shot. And a lot of times, if your hips drop, your eyes go up and your hands come together, what does that look like? It looks like a shot. And the benefit is, the more you can work on like hesitating and faking a shot, the more your defender can raise and be out of position. So say Bryce is guarding me and I'm like this, and I fake a shot and he raises up. Well, now I get him to relax. I get him to think that I'm about to shoot, and that can open up a reset. But what that can also open up, when I fake this shot and he rises up, that might also sell an opportunity to drive past him because now he's out of position. So the first thing we have to be able to do is hesitate with the ball in our hands. And the other benefit is, say like we're playing more live, I might be like this and here and hesitate and be like this and hesitate and then still drive and then I go. And the more you blend that, the more you can sell up and then drive past, the more, again, he gets out of position. And he doesn't know what you're doing when you're doing it. The second hesitation we need is to sell a drive. So say Bryce is guarding me and I'm doing this, I might, sell a shot every once in a while, but sometimes I might also have to get here and then sell a drive and fake a drive. And you notice right there in slow motion, the moment I went like this, he slid this way because my shoulder was forward, my knee was down, and my hand went forward. Because think about when you drive, you do that same exact motion. So how do you sell it? You implement and make it look like you're driving. So best way to fake is by twitching. So he's guarding me like this, I'm thinking I'm going, I fake. I'm thinking I'm going, I fake this way. I'm thinking I'm going, I take off. And now he doesn't know when I'm going, where I'm going, and the entire time I'm just blending in different speeds. The goal with hesitations is to get your defender off balance, get your defender guessing, and get your defender to try to bite and shift every time you sell a fake. And the more you sell a fake and he shifts with you, the more space you have to go opposite. The next thing we need is the ability to float with the ball. So if he's guarding me and I'm just doing all these moves, but I'm staying in the same position, he's really chilling. He's stationary, he's comfortable. I gotta get him moving. Think about the word shiftiness. It's really our ability to shift our defender. And so if he's staying stationary, he's comfortable, but if I start to make a move and move with the ball, now he has to move. And the benefit is, say I do that same float, you move with me, but not as much. If I float out, but I get my foot outside of this foot, the other benefit of floating is you improve your angle. If I can get outside this foot early, then I can get past this foot right away. Whereas if I just stay inside this frame and I'm just doing all this, I have to go outside this frame and then I gotta turn back. And a lot of times it's easier for my defender to get a chest stop and to round out my driving line. So it's really important we have the ability to make moves with the ball. So if I go in and out left, I float to the left. If I cross the ball to the right, I float to the right. And you notice every time I'm making moves, I'm moving my body and I'm moving my defender. The last really important detail is if you float left, you want your left foot up. Because the more your top foot is up, the more you can A, push off your back foot, which leads to a quicker first step. B, the more open your hips are, which means you can drive, you can shoot, you could fake and change directions, you have more options and you have way more vision. Then the last thing is if I get my left foot up and I'm facing forward, it also makes it easier to get my defender to bite on the drive, which can lead to me getting easier separation. So if I drive forward and he thinks that I'm driving, because if I drive in this angle, he has to react to it, otherwise it's a blow by. So now it makes it easier to separate without having to separate like this and then having to turn back to the rim. So again, the three main things are when you're opened up, you can push off the back foot, quicker first step. You can be facing forward, which gives you every option. You can go left easier, you can shoot it, you can also change and go right. And then the third benefit of having your hips open is if you can't keep going forward and you do need to separate, you can easily separate without having to change much direction with your body. The last thing we have to have mastered is the ability to shift with the ball. So like we said before, float, you go with the ball. A shift, you go away from the ball. So say I go between the legs, I'm gonna fake a drive, shift out, and if he bites, look at all the space I have this way. It's also beneficial for the hesitations that we worked on. Earlier we said you can hesitate on a shot, you can hesitate on a drive. So say I might go like this, I might go like this and fake a drive. I might go this and fake a drive. But instead of faking and coming back, I might fake that drive and shift out, and now I got more room to get him to slide. So again, the ability to just blend this, like I might float with the ball, and then I might shift and get away from the ball, but the whole time I'm getting him to what? I'm getting him to move, I'm getting him off balance. I'm working on shifting him, and the more I shift you, the more chances for you to get off balance, the more chances for you to get uncomfortable and guessing, and the more chances for me to get outside your frame where I can really attack you. And again, say like you're guarding me, I'm gonna make a move and shift. When I shift, go this way. So when I shift and you come this way, well, guess where his weight is? Here. Guess where the space is? There. So I get him going this way, my foot's outside here, well now I just read where the space is, and I attack where the space is. So you're guarding me like this, let's just blend it up a little bit. I might be like this and hesitating on a shot. I might go here, I might sell a drive and shift, look at all that space. I might fake here and go this way and then come back. But you notice the whole time I'm just getting him to move. Getting him to move, I'm working on changing my speeds. I'm blending those three things that we worked on. But I'm telling you, the more you guys can work on faking a drive by just shifting out and getting away, the more your defender is gonna be on their toes, they're gonna be off balance, and they're gonna be the ones guessing what you're doing. Now that we know the three most important movements to work on, now we gotta be able to translate it to a game. So the best thing we can do is grab a partner, play live. They don't know what you're working on, but you have to pick one of those things at a time each possession. So maybe the first possession, I'm playing them fully live. I'm not scripting anything, I'm not overthinking anything, but my whole goal is I have to just hesitate. So maybe we check up and we're playing and I'm like this and I'm hesitating on shots, I'm hesitating on fakes, I'm hesitating and then I shoot it. My whole goal is hesitation. And then we play. We play first to 5, first to 7, doesn't really matter. The next game we play, then my whole focus is I'm trying to float. So I might still do the hesitations, I might still get here and hesitate, but then eventually when I'm making moves, I'm starting to float and I'm starting to get him to shift, and that's my focus on the next live drill. Then the third live drill, when that game's over, again, you can still do all the other moves, but what you have to include in the third drill is the ability to shift. So again, I might be getting here, I might go here, I might start with a float, then I might fake a drive and shift, and now it's live and I'm making reads off shifts. So it's less about scripting the perfect drill and more about giving yourself enough time to work on specific things against a live defender so that you can figure out what works for you. You can figure out, you know, like say I'm doing floats and I'm going like this and I'm going like this and I'm like, I can't beat him. Well, you're probably going too fast. Maybe your hesitations, you're like doing this and it's like, he's not lifting. Well, maybe your eyes aren't up. So now it's a chance to work on all those things that we talked about. But again, you have to implement this stuff against a live defender. And even if he has an idea of what you're trying to get better at, what you're working on, if you can do it against a defender who's kind of already knowing what you're working on and you can still make it work, then the game is gonna feel easier than ever. So remember, it's not as important the moves you make, but the movements that you're making. So the ability to hesitate with the shot, hesitate with a drive, we can float and go with the ball, we can fake a float and shift away from the ball. All these things get our defender to be guessing, to be moving, to get off balance. And the more you get them guessing, the more you get them moving, the more you get them off balance because they gotta go up, back, left, right. They're not just staying stationary and they're comfortable. The more you're likely to A, be able to flip their feet where you can attack, or B, if you do flip their feet and you can attack, well then you can attack their top foot. Regardless of what you do, you're putting them in a bad position. You wanna be the one dictating the pace and dictating what you are seeking to do. What bad offensive players do is they let the defender dictate what they're doing. What we gotta be able to do is be able to change our speed by using hesitations and being able to change our distance by being able to float lateral, whether it's left or right. And the more you can mix that stuff up and the more you can blend it in your game, the more you're gonna have the recipe for success that guys like Steph Curry do, Trae Young does, and Kyrie Irving does. Get to work.